sonic screwdriver won't get me out of this one.
The sonic screwdriver is a Doctor Who writer's best friend, as it has the power to fix any plot holes. But the question I want to ask is, which one looks the coolest while fixing the plot? Alright, you know how these lists work. I'm only counting sonic screwdrivers, with one exception, used by the Doctor in the TV show, because otherwise this list would go on forever. So I will not be including things like the sonic sunglasses, but if I did, then they would be at the bottom. Anyway, before we start, I'd like to give an honourable mention to the 8th Doctor's sonic screwdriver from the Big Finish audios. To me, this one feels like a hybrid between 11th screwdriver and the wood used from the TV movie TARDIS, and it just doesn't gel well to me. I like the sonic screwdrivers to feel scientific and practical, whereas this one just feels like it was made in a Year 9 woodwork class, with no other function than to be thrown in the bin once your parents have looked at it for about 5 minutes. With that one out the way, let's get on with the list. Number 11, the Sonic Lance. I never thought I'd see the day that something from Series 11 was not at the bottom of one of my lists. However, the Sonic Lance used by the 6th Doctor, while being a relatively interesting idea, falls flat due to the fact that the show's budget was lower than my bank balance at the time. And as a result, this just looks like a TV remote that's been spray painted blue, and had all its useful buttons removed. I will give credit for originality, but this design is very unappealing, and will likely remain a relic of the 80s. Number 10, the 2nd Doctor's sonic screwdriver. I think it's important to remember that this one was the first sonic screwdriver ever, and therefore the concept was still in its early stages. However, this design has nothing really memorable or unique about it. It's literally just a pen. Some have praised it for its sleek, simplistic design, saying it adds an element of timelessness to it. And while I agree to an extent, I liken it to eating bread. At the end of the day, when you eat bread, you know what you're getting. It's reliable, but bland. Number 9, the 13th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Most of you probably thought that this screwdriver would be low down on the list, and honestly, I can't think of a lot to say about it. That hasn't already been said by other people. However, I'm going to try anyway. To me, this screwdriver feels about as generic as they come, in terms of New Who sonic screwdrivers, as it's really just a long metal tube with an LED at the top. And the less said about that curve near the bottom, the better. I mean, you would think that with the first female Doctor that the creative team would try and make the new screwdriver look as non-phallic as possible, but instead the creative team thought it would be funny to make the screwdriver look as dildo-like as possible. I must admit, I do enjoy the yellow colour scheme, and the parts inside that are visible from the outside, but aside from that, it's bland, boring, and has female elements, so I suppose it's perfect for 13. Number 8, the 8th Doctor's TV movie Sonic. This is one of the few times you will see me rank something associated with the 8th Doctor this far down, but honestly, there is just not a lot that makes this design stand out from any other of the classic designs, with the exception that the ring is silver and the centrepiece is red rather than the other way round. In addition, there is a gold part at the bottom of the screwdriver. However, besides that, this screwdriver is just fine, I guess. I haven't really got much to say about it, it's just fine. Number 7, the 5th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. To be honest, I was debating whether or not to even include this on the list, as it's so similar to the 4th Doctor's design. However, I decided to include it to make this list consistent. The only difference I can see between this design and the Tom Baker design is that it has a small white ring at the bottom of the screwdriver, and it just kind of ruins the simplicity of Tom Baker's Sonic, and that's not a good thing. Number 6, the War Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Now I can understand what they were trying to do with this design, as it has the bottom of the classic screwdriver with a bright light at the top like the modern era screwdrivers, so it sort of bridges the gaps between the classic and the modern show. But the thing that lets this design down is the fact that the light was not crafted in any unique shape like 11's screwdriver or 12's, for example, and therefore it just looks a bit cheap, like they just stuck an LED from a Christmas decoration at the top of it. I don't know, it always felt a bit cheap feeling to me. But anyway, moving on. Number 5, the third Doctor Sonic screwdriver. To be honest, it's just the traditional classic Sonic design, except it has a giant yellow swirly bit in the middle. And looking back on it, it's just a bit of an eyesore. But the rest is just the average classic Sonic design, and I've run out of things to say. Number 4, the 12th Doctor Sonic screwdriver. Honestly, I don't understand why people dislike this design too much. I mean, is it the best design? No, but this design is one of the most unique designs I think we've ever seen. Plus, it emits 2 colours. I mean, what more could you ask for? I also love that this Sonic is TARDIS blue. I've heard people say that this one looks like a toy, but to me it doesn't feel like that. It feels like an ancient piece of technology, whilst also feeling somehow futuristic. I mean, it's not practical. It's not practical in the slightest, but neither are 11's Sonic claws, and no one complains about those. Speaking of which, number 3, the 11th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver. I must admit, I always liked this design. As I said, the claws don't really serve any purpose, but this Sonic screwdriver is really iconic to me. And am I the only one who noticed that the shape of the screwdriver light is the same as the time rotor in the 2010 console room? No? Just me? Okay. I feel like the more eccentric design complements the 11th Doctor very well. I mean, I know the 12th Doctor used this as well, but whatever. I still like it. Number 2, the 4th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver. This is just the perfect classic design with no extra bells or whistles, and I just love it. It may seem simplistic today, but I think that's why this design works. It feels very space age and unique, while still feeling like a Doctor's tool. And number 1, the 10th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver. The 9th/10th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver is the screwdriver I think of when I think of Modern Who, and to be honest, I'm not sure why. It might be down to the fact that it was my first Sonic screwdriver I saw, but then when I think about it more, and I think about the design more, I think it would even be my favourite even if it wasn't my first screwdriver. It's just a really solid design that has my favourite colour at the top. That's right, I'm a 4-year-old. At the end of the day though, these are just my opinions, and I would love to read your lists in the comments below. But the most important thing you can do is subscribe, leave a comment, because each time you do, it damages the evil Chris Chibnall. Also, follow me on Twitter, @TharisYT, and join my Discord for more discussion. Also, quick note, sorry if my voice was a bit funny in this one. I've been a bit ill. I'm kind of getting better now, so I thought I'd record this video for you guys. Anyway, bye. Also, let me know what you thought of the new editing style. It's taken me a while to put this together, so I'd really appreciate some feedback. Tell me if you enjoyed it more or less than my usual style. If you enjoyed it more, I'll keep this style going. If not, I'll revert back to the simpler style. I personally think that this style just looks a lot more professional and better, but if you guys think differently, then I'll change it back. Sorry again if my voice was a bit weird, and some of my audio was not quite there. As I said, I've been a bit under the weather, but I'm recovering now, so thanks for watching again, bye.
I can't wood! What it doesn't do wood! Hang on. We can vibrate the molecules, find the binding, we can settle the into... Get out of the way!